And go.
Welcome back to another episode at the Cusp of Freedom, where we'll discuss why and how we become who we are as digital nomads, so you can know what it takes to follow our footsteps to be better than us. On this episode, I have a very special friend. I'll let her introduce herself.
Hello, I'm Katrina. I'm 20 years old. And I'm a digital nomad since July last year, and I love it, but it's also hard sometimes.
Interesting. So, Katrina, what do you do for a living?
So I have a marketing agency, so I do marketing, online marketing, especially social media and content creation for brands.
How long have you been doing that?
I've been doing this for years, but I'm self-employed for 3 years now.
Oh, wow, interesting.
Yes.
When you were younger, did you dream of becoming a content creator, or what did you want to be when you grow up?
So since I was 16 years old, I knew I wanted to be self-employed, and I knew I wanted to work in marketing or own my own business, and I did exactly that.
Wow, interesting. So you didn't go to college?
I did, but later. So I started college at I think I was 24.
Interesting.
Yes,
And
I
when you
worked before the whole time.
Okay, so what did you work before college, and why did you go to college if you realized that you would start your own business?
Because I thought I wanted to learn more, and I thought if I go to college, I will learn more. And I worked in marketing before, but I worked part-time jobs in marketing. So I did I don't know, what's it called again? Like call center in the morning and marketing in the afternoon.
In the evenings.
Yes.
Okay, so when you went to college, what did you major in?
I'm not yet finished with studying.
Okay, so you're still in college.
Yes,
Okay.
because I took a break.
Right.
I'm studying because I started my own business. But I will be a major in I study corporate communication.
Corporate communication.
Yes. So PR and marketing, essentially.
Interesting. So if you could define corporate communication to a 5-year-old watching, what would you say corporate communication is?
I would say that's the communication outside of the company and inside of the company.
Interesting.
Yes.
So company communication that helps like the company grow, I guess, in a sense.
Also, yes, but it's also their biggest marketing tool. So what employees think and talk about the company is like very powerful. So that's very important. That's like the same thing. That's
Interesting.
what comes out and goes out.
Interesting. So before college, you were working with marketing agencies, but like under them, and you decided to go and major into corporate communication to better your skills, so that so that while you're running your own business, you have the ability to better communicate.
Yeah.
For your business.
But also I just wanted to broaden my experience. So I always did like online marketing and social media, especially. I started my blog when I was 16 years old, and that helped me a lot. So I think my blog and my social media career, whatever, helped me a lot to become a good marketer, I would say. Because I needed to practice the whole social media game for myself, and then I learned how to do it for brands.
Okay.
Because it's different.
Interesting. So what are some challenges that you've gone through, and what are some key lessons that you've learned along your journey of becoming a social marketing expert?
I would say honestly the biggest challenge for me honestly was my mindset. So I did not have a good self-esteem. I felt like I was lying to a lot of people. I felt like not good enough, and that was the first step I had to take to really like learn to trust myself and trust in my skills. And I think that's why it took so long for me to be self-employed. I needed to work like in every field of marketing before I was like, okay, I can do this, and I want to have my own marketing agency.
Interesting.
So I worked in every field really. I did tourism, I did like electronics, I did e-commerce, I did lawyer, marketing. I did everything for different companies, and I wanted to do that to be really, really broad, to really, if I get different clients, I know how to help them because I've worked in it before in the niche or branch.
How did you realize that you were lacking in these domains? Did you read content creating books that made you realize that you were like lacking, or like how did you realize that you weren't exactly on the level that you needed to be?
I honestly I feel a lot of people in marketing are not on the level they want to be. You just learn to market yourself a lot, and that's part of it. And I just felt like not good enough. That's like an internal thing, not something someone said to me or like something happened or anything. It was just an internal thing, and I realized that I have to work on myself and be a better leader for myself and also for freelancers I'm working with or employees.
Interesting. So when you were 16, you realized that you wanted to work for yourself, and prior to college, you were working for these digital marketing agencies that made you realize that you can do this on your own and have your own business.
Yes.
So when you, I guess after college, like when do you, I don't know, because I guess in the United States college is very expensive. How do you justify the cost associated with college with the skill that you're learning in college? And like how do you justify that against like being able to learn that skill on your own if you like picked up a book or something?
Honestly, that's a very good question. So I would say in Austria, college does not cost a lot, and we have this rule in Austria that if you work for 4 years and then study, the state pays for you. So that's why I studied so late. That's why I started, because I couldn't afford it before, so I did it afterwards. That's why I did it. I would not do it again. I would not start studying again. I honestly have to say. For me, honestly, it was a lot of wasted time, and I did not learn the stuff I wanted to learn. But what it gave me was time to reflect what exactly I want to do, in which niche I want to work, and also give me time to work on my mindset. And that's why I'm grateful for it still. But I would not do it again, I think so.
Interesting. So when you were 16, why did you choose, like you knew you wanted to start a business, but why content creating? Is it because you were working for this company, you knew you could do it for yourself, or did you feel like it was just like an easy thing to do because social media was about to explode or something?
So when I was 16, it like started with blogs a bit, but social media or influencer marketing was nowhere big at all. And so I had a job at a hotel, and she asked me, my boss asked me if I want to take some pictures and write for her blog something or her website, and I was like, yeah, sure, I love it. And then she was like, oh wow, you did such a great job, you should work in marketing. And I was like, what even is marketing? I didn't even know what marketing is. And then I researched, I'm like, okay, this combines everything I like. And that's exactly why I wanted to do it, and why I love to combine marketing and content creation, because marketing is a very strategic thing and I love it. I love to do like the organizing part of it and the strategic part of it, but I also very much enjoy creating, and like I have an aesthetic eye and I want to use that and like make it beautiful, I would say.
Interesting.
Yes.
So if you could highlight some of the skills that you have, or some of the skills that you saw yourself have that could help you be successful within this domain, what are those highlights that you would say, if somebody finds that in themselves, they can feel confident that pursuing marketing will be right for them?
I would say if you want to be successful in marketing, there's one major skill you have to have. You need to really love it and like be like, I want to learn everything about this topic, because it changes so much. It changes the whole time. So marketing is very fast, and like if you really love it and you are willing to take time to really learn it, and like constantly learn it, then that's the thing for you.
And speaking of marketing, just like to play devil advocate here for younger people watching, or the younger audience watching this, how would you define marketing, and what role do you think marketing plays in today's society?
It's pretty difficult to define it, honestly. Even I studied, and there's not one definition for it. Because it's extremely broad. You have like influencer marketing, you have performance marketing, you have content marketing, you have everything. So it's online marketing. So I would say marketing is the part where you tell potential clients about your product or your service you do.
Is it like a persuasive?
Yes, it's specific. Yes, exactly. So you try to sell it to them, whatever it is.
Interesting. I know there's a difference between persuading and convincing someone. Do you know that difference?
Maybe tell me because I'm not native speaker. So.
Okay. So persuading is when you're basically helping someone make a decision that they already want to make, whereas convincing is a bit harder because you have to make somebody make a decision that they don't really want to make.
Okay, I would say you do both in marketing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so fast forward after I guess you quit your job and you decided to start your own marketing agency. What is the process of starting a marketing agency?
So I think a lot of people think like, oh yeah, I want to have my own business. So they're like, okay, I'm just going full in and doing it. And I did not do that because I like security. I like to build something up, and I worked for 3 years in different agency, and on the side I had a side business and built that bigger. And then I was like, okay, it's running, I have clients, I will quit my job. So I just reduced my hours of working for agencies, and I was like at 10 hours a week.
Interesting.
At the lowest then.
So you did it like you were working both, and then like as you got clients, you worked less on your other job, and then you quit it essentially when you were able to support yourself.
Yes.
How difficult is it? I guess what are the major challenges that you've come across or had to, or major hurdles you had to go over when it came to running your own business? Like, was it getting clients? Was it keeping clients? Was it having work that was reputable? Like, what are some major challenges that you've gone through?
I would say for me in the beginning it wasn't so hard to get clients because I know a lot of people, and I just told them, and they were like, oh yeah, please help me with this and that, and then they were happy, and then they were like, yeah, I have, I don't know, an aunt, and she also needs something, and like I started like that. So just start out and like just tell everyone. Honestly, I feel like this is your business. You should be proud of your business. You should go out and be like, oh yeah, this is my business. Do you need help? And I feel like you don't have to start with very high prices. Just start with low prices, but always start with pricing. Never do it for free. Honestly, that's something I learned. A lot of things in marketing are you do for free at the beginning, and that's something I would not do again. Work for free. Because I feel like if something is free, people don't value it as much. Yeah. So I think it's very important to
put a price on it.
Even if it's very low, if it's like $10, whatever. But like it's money. It's not for free.
Interesting. So so now that you've been a digital nomad for what, 3 years now?
No, 7 months. I think so.
Okay.
Something like that.
How many countries have you been to?
So I've been to Italy, France, Spain, US.
Oh no, I think we should just count Europe as one country at this point.
It's not one country. Okay. Don't say that. Oh my gosh. Okay. Every European right now is what? Okay, yeah. No, it's not one country, no. So not a lot of countries, honestly, because I like to travel a bit slower. So I'm not doing this because I want to like check every country off. I just want to experience different cultures, different traditions. I want to meet people and see the world. That's why I'm doing it.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about culture and people. When was your first time traveling? When was your first time, being outside of your native land, I guess?
So I would say the day I was born. So I was born in the UK, but I'm half German, half Austrian because my parents studied in the UK, so they gave birth to me in the UK. Okay. And then when I was 1.5 years old, we moved to Thailand for half a year to the slums in Bangkok. And then we moved to Germany and then to Austria. And then when I was 5 years old, we moved to Thailand for 4 years, and then 1 year Austria, 4 years Thailand, and now Austria again. So I've been moving my whole life. And my parents love to travel, and they met in New Zealand. So very far away when traveling.
That is very far away.
Yeah.
I guess when you were younger, you didn't really remember the experience that you had traveling. But at what age?
I did.
Okay. At what age did you start remembering, or?
I think like at 5. Okay. So the first year of Thailand. So I lived in Thailand for 9 years, and I lived there until I was 14. So I went to school there and everything. So
Interesting. Do you feel like your perspective, I guess, because after Thailand, you say you went back to the UK or Austria?
To Austria, yeah.
Okay, so I guess going back to Austria, how did you see your perspective? How do you feel your perspective shaped the way you thought? And how did you see it make you feel? Did it make you feel any different than the kids that never left Austria, for example?
Absolutely, yeah. I felt foreign in every country, so I absolutely do not have a sense of home ever. I have no idea how people feel home somewhere. I made peace with it. I'm fine with it now. I don't need to feel home. For me, home are people and not
Okay.
countries or like villages or whatever.
Mm.
So I don't mind. But yeah, it was extremely hard coming back. So because I was obviously not Thai, so everyone saw that and knew that, of course. But I still felt somehow Thai, but also not Thai enough, or like not, but also not Austrian enough.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that was very weird for me and very hard, honestly. But yeah,
Interesting.
hardest time I think of my life.
Interesting. So okay, I guess you've been traveling for 7 months, and I'm guessing you've been solo traveling.
No, I traveled with my boyfriend at the time, but we broke up.
Okay.
Now I'm
So how is traveling as an adult different from traveling when you were younger?
You have to organize everything yourself. I think that's the biggest difference. And you have to make your own decisions. You have to decide where you want to go. And that was honestly sometimes pretty hard to decide because like you have so many options. You're like, where do I go? What do I do?
Do you think moving around when you were younger from one place to another helped you like gain adaptivity skills?
Absolutely, yeah.
And do you think those skills were critical to you traveling better by yourself? Maybe?
Probably, yeah, but I don't know because I have no other experience, so I cannot compare it. But I would say yes. Interesting.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess why you became a digital marketer is because for one, you were working for a digital marketing agency when you were young, and at the same time when you were younger, you also had like a independent kind of mindset that you wanted to work for yourself. Yeah. And once that lady for which you did that little blog post for told you did a good job, you realized that hey, I can actually make this into my business, and that's why you got into digital marketing.
Probably, yeah.
Business. And how you became a digital nomad is by starting your own business. How long did it take you to get your business off the ground?
A long time.
A long time.
Yeah, a long time because I did it as a side hustle thing. Yeah. And also I studied and got money from the state. So I was not allowed to get a lot of money from it. Yeah. So I would have lost my scholarship. So that's why I was like, keep making it very low and stuff. And then after when I took a break from studying, I was like, okay, now I have to get this off the ground, and it worked.
Interesting. Yeah. Do you feel like the path you took was the best path forward, or if you could go back and do anything better, what would you do better?
I think I would try to network way more than I did. So especially, I feel like if you want to work in marketing, a lot of it, or honestly every industry, that's how you get jobs, you network. And I thought you get jobs, you just like, I don't know, send you CV, right?
Mm-hmm.
Resume. And resume and stuff, and that's how you get jobs. That's what I thought. But I realized you get jobs because you know people. That's like the easiest way. And you get way better jobs if you know people. And because my parents moved so much, my parents had like no connections in Austria or Germany or anything, so that was not very helpful. So I had to build up my whole network myself, and that took some time. And yeah, and now I'm thankful for it. And now I'm trying to build it bigger and like do it worldwide more.
As a digital nomad, how do you manage your time and how do you manage your time and experiences? How do you deal with not I guess what are some challenges that you have as a digital nomad? Like what are some pain points?
So I would say I'm a very creative person, so I'm not naturally like routines a lot. But I realized as a digital nomad, it's one of the most important things to have routines. So I started to have a morning routine and to like have something that is like always the same, doesn't matter where you go. And I think it makes you way more productive. So I'm trying to do that. And sometimes I was like at the first week I'm always slacking. If I'm in a new country the
Yeah.
first week, I'm completely slacking. So we are now here for the first week. It's bad. So I will start that again and like have my morning routine and everything, and then it gets better, and then I also get more productive again. But I feel like as a digital nomad, every time you move, you lose at least a week. And with everyone I talk to, they always said, yeah, it's the same. They lose a week because they like have to find a new gym. You have to, I don't know, like you have to find your grocery stores where you go to and everything. And that's why I try to stay a little bit longer in countries so I don't lose as much productivity as I would like to be.
Interesting. That's a good point to make.
And I would say a second thing that is a struggle for me sometimes is the loneliness. Because we've been talking about that before. So that is like sometimes hard to make like deeper connections. You get a lot of connections and that's awesome. You meet a lot of different people from different cultures and traditions or whatever. But it's sometimes hard to keep in touch, and it's sometimes hard to deepen the connections and to really build long-lasting connections, I would say.
Interesting. That's a very good point as well. Well, now that we discussed why and how you became digital nomad by having your own digital agency or marketing agency, let's have some perspective on some life philosophy that you have, which one can take with them and apply in their daily lives. So do you have any like life philosophy that you live by?
I would say never stop learning, be curious, and say yes to a lot of things, and don't think about what other people think about you. Just do it, because it's your life, and life is way too short for, I don't know, not being curious and not being bold, I think.
Interesting. Okay. Well, thank you so much for giving us 20 to 30 minutes of your time today to discuss why and how you became who you are. And
Sure.
It's been an honor having you on this podcast.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.